For generations, Greek life has promised students brotherhood, networking, and a sense of belonging. It's a tradition that many look forward to, hoping to create lifelong bonds and memories. But beneath the surface, hazing remains a dark tradition, one that often turns the desire for acceptance into a test of submission and cruelty. These rituals, shrouded in secrecy, can escalate quickly, leading to physical and emotional trauma. The pressure to fit in can push even the brightest students into dangerous, humiliating rituals. The fear of being ostracized or ridiculed often forces them to comply, despite the risks involved. These aren't isolated incidents. They're the result of a culture that tolerates abuse in the name of tradition. The normalization of such behavior perpetuates a cycle of harm that can have lasting consequences. Secrecy and silence protect perpetrators, leaving victims and families devastated. The emotional toll on those affected can be profound, often leading to long-term psychological issues. Hazing is a systemic issue that can touch any student, regardless of background. It's a pervasive problem that requires collective action to address and eradicate. The story of Timothy Piazza is a stark reminder: the pursuit of brotherhood should never cost a life. His tragic death underscores the urgent need for change and accountability within these institutions. Timothy Piazza, a sophomore at Penn State, was eager to find his place on campus and hoped to build lifelong friendships in the Beta Theta Pi fraternity. Like many students, he was drawn to the sense of belonging and tradition that Greek life promised. On a cold February night, Timothy and his fellow pledges attended a fraternity party, where they were subjected to the Gauntlet, a dangerous hazing ritual involving rapid, excessive alcohol consumption. The pressure to fit in and prove themselves was overwhelming. Severely intoxicated and disoriented, Timothy lost his balance and fell down a steep flight of stairs, suffering catastrophic head and abdominal injuries. The impact left him unconscious and in desperate need of medical attention. Instead of calling for help, fraternity members placed Timothy on a couch, ignoring his worsening condition for nearly 12 hours. Some checked on him, but no one took decisive action as his life slipped away. Security footage later revealed members mocking and neglecting Timothy, treating his medical emergency as an inconvenience to be hidden rather than a crisis demanding urgent help. When someone finally called for help the next morning, it was tragically too late. Timothy died at just 19, leaving his family and friends devastated. His death was not a random accident, but the direct result of hazing, peer pressure, and a collective failure to act when it mattered most. The tragedy exposed the deadly consequences of silence, misplaced loyalty, and the culture of secrecy that can exist within fraternities. Timothy's story forced a national reckoning with fraternity culture, inspiring calls for reform and a renewed commitment to student safety across campuses nationwide. After Timothy's death, his father, Jim Piazza, became a relentless advocate for change. More than 20 fraternity members faced criminal charges, with several sentenced to jail for hazing. Jim's efforts led to the Timothy J. Piazza anti-hazing law in Pennsylvania, making deadly hazing a felony. He also helped pass the federal Stop Campus Hazing Act, requiring universities to report hazing and educate students. These laws mark a turning point. Hazing is now treated as a serious crime, not a harmless tradition. Universities must be transparent, and those responsible can no longer hide behind silence. The Piazza's fight has created real accountability and hope for safer campuses. Hazing doesn't discriminate. It can happen to any student, no matter their background or character. Whether you're an athlete, a scholar, or an artist, the risk is the same. Hazing can infiltrate any group or organization, making it a pervasive issue that affects the entire student body. Timothy Piazza was a responsible, well-liked young man, proof that anyone can become a victim. His tragic story serves as a stark reminder that hazing can have devastating consequences, even for those who seem to have it all together. Hazing exploits the universal need to belong, pressuring students to conform and ignore their instincts. The desire to be accepted can lead individuals to participate in dangerous activities, putting their health and safety at risk. Groupthink and fear of exclusion make it hard to speak up, even when danger is obvious. The fear of being ostracized can be so strong that it silences even the most confident individuals. Fraternity leaders, often just a year older, perpetuate cycles of abuse they once endured. This cycle of hazing continues because new members are often too afraid to challenge the status quo. Jim Piazza urges parents to have honest conversations about hazing before college begins. These discussions can equip students with the knowledge and confidence to resist peer pressure and make safer choices. Students must recognize that the pressure to fit in can override even the strongest values. Understanding this can help them stay true to themselves and avoid dangerous situations. Awareness is the first step to prevention. By educating themselves and others, students can help create a safer, more inclusive campus environment. Preventing hazing requires action from parents, students, and universities. Jim Piazza encourages parents to empower their children to say no and prioritize safety over acceptance. Students hold power. If pledges refuse dangerous rituals together, fraternities must change. Researching chapters and asking tough questions can reveal red flags. Greek life can offer real benefits, but only if toxic traditions are replaced with positive experiences. True brotherhood protects, not endangers. Stronger laws and greater awareness are making campuses safer, but vigilance is essential. Honoring Timothy's memory means ensuring brotherhood is never again an excuse for harm.